Hey everyone around the world, wherever you may be, I trust that you are all healthy, well and happy. On Thursday, 1st of December 2016, I sat 14 rows back, 5 seats across to my right hand side, in an auditorium full of over 1,000 strong people. On this day they were broken, upset, a mess, shade of the people they once were. It was the funeral of the 7th mate I'd lost to suicide in just 25 years. Something that I consider truly preventable when suicide is associated with poor mental health. This image is one that flicks back and forth through my head every single day of those faces of those mates that I've lost, and the families left behind, and it breaks my heart. I would do anything to bring back any of those mates and show them how beautiful and meaningful their life could have been, the same way mine's become now. But I can't. It's not something that rocks me for 2 days, for 6 months, for 4 years down the track. It's something that breaks my heart every day, and it fuels my passion for everlasting positive social change, and it gives me the energy of a morning to get up and go again. Has there ever been a more timely topic than the one we're talking about right now? The life we live is easier when we share it with others. The right words, at the right time, to the right audience, to the right person, could possibly and potentially be the way to change or save that person's life. The human condition, as far as we know it, is wired for love, belonging and connection. It's a very beautiful thing that we possess unlimited amounts of it. It's time to start sharing it. There is no qualification for empathy or compassion. It's the everyday choice we have when we wake up, and a choice again to utilise with every interaction we have, be that with a stranger, a friend, colleague, or family member. The difference between how much we say we can and how much we actually show it is the difference that this world is desperately aching for. What would it look like if we tapped into 1,440 minutes we have each day and used them for the betterment of others? Based on some of my own research, every 60 seconds around the world, 250 babies are born, 144 people get the keys to a new home, and 83,000 people will have intimacy, all of which create new and beautiful happy memories. Even me and you, we're the blessed ones. Alone in the next 60 seconds, our heart will beat 60 to 100 times. More importantly for me, every minute, somewhere around the world, we lose someone to suicide. Their heart stops beating. And the time it takes for us to lose a loved one to suicide is the same time it takes us as brothers and sisters keepers, parents, caregivers and loved ones to reach in and positively impact the people around us and show them that they too are loved and worthwhile. The loss of life every 60 seconds could be a continent away, a country away, a street away, or it could potentially be under your very own roof. Unfortunately for me, that's the case. It's the occurrence in my life dating back to the age of just 12 years old, primary school. If you can take a positive out of such a horrific situation as now losing 10 mates to suicide by the age of 29, it would be that day. The funeral of my mate was the birthplace of two very important findings for me that day. Firstly, devastation I seen on every single person in that auditorium was the confronting smack in the face that I needed that day to go and get the help and treatment that I desperately required but desperately deserved. More importantly, it was that day that I said enough is enough and something was going to change. I didn't fear myself in the thought of ending my life. What I truly feared was the shame and judgment of others. It was that exact place and thought where my life changed, not just for me, but for the people around me. And just like you, we both each stand here right now with experiences and pain that cannot be taught. Experiences that would help people find hope and healing, the same way someone else's story did for me. I had a bad belief system for years, one that screamed, why me, life sucks, this isn't fair. It was a feeling of entitlement that life owed me something and that I had been dealt the poor hand. And I was shut off to the world and numb to every single opportunity up ahead of me for the best part of 8 years, dragging my feet and living with no acceptance of hope or any chance of healing or recovery. I wasn't going to continue suffering from poor mental health, accepting that torturous defeat, because that's what it pretty much was. And we see it quite often in so many cultures and communities. A belief system of suffering, creating a story in our own mind that Nothing good is happening around us when there are so many things every single day to be grateful for everywhere you look. My misunderstanding was the world was happening to me and not for me. I was wrong. Was I going to keep sitting at the back of these funerals and lying awake at night, criticising what my poor mental health had done to my life? Now living with bipolar disorder, losing those 10 mates to the silent killer we call suicide, or leading me to live from the street, homeless in 2013? Or would I instead acknowledge what it could mean to me and how I could choose to look at it? I had to rewire that story in my mind, from one of torture to one of acknowledging all the beautiful people and giving credit to all the good things that had happened to me as a result of the pain, trauma and grief that I had been through and experienced. I had to channel that of what I'd seen and felt for so long for the betterment of someone else. That's the gift, and we all have that gift. We all know pain and it's all valid. I'm not asking you to agree, but I think it's worth considering that the change in me could be the change in a lot of us. It's a thought I'd been rejected for many years. While I was bathing in that bad limiting belief system, the same belief system that had been handed to me with my script, with my diagnosis. That I was a broken machine that needed fixing. That I was a defect of humanity. That life would be really difficult for me from here on out, living with bipolar disorder. Instead of a beautiful creative mind that's seen the world in a unique way, I was just someone who needed to better understand what wellness looked like and how to consistently achieve it for myself. Mental illness and the loss of mates has been my greatest teacher by far. The loss of friends has birthed the love for people and a level of compassion and empathy that I otherwise wouldn't have known or ever reached. It has led me to this moment in time, the exact place I stand right now. It has given me the ability to be in a position to give back, to help change the conversation and the culture of mind and behavioural health, wellness and resilience. To show the young champions of tomorrow, my favourites, our future, the strength of who they are, based on their own value and uniqueness, combined with the strength of others, our supports. Help people right across this world realise to flex the emotional muscles of their struggle, the most important muscle to flex. It has enabled me to feel alive again. Every day my eyes open, my feet hit the ground and I'm breathing in that fresh air out there. I'm one of the lucky ones and so are you. To still be here, to be able to tell stories and to share our healings and learnings and to do it together. It was my own rediscovery of hope, visible in kindness, visible in other people, that enabled me to see that if they could live a healthy, happy and fulfilling life, even with their diagnosis, loss, grief and pain, then why couldn't I? They inspired me to find the strength within and shift from survival to fight. And you don't really realise how strong you can be until being strong is your only option. So, here are my 10 lessons for you and your loved ones. These are my scars that have led to the valuable lessons. Number 1, be sad. Because if you are, you can hear your heart through it. Tears come from the heart, not the brain. If today you feel sadness, you are alive and you're leading with the heart. That's a very beautiful thing and there's no shame in that. Sadness shows us the path to joy. 2, be angry. It will help you identify what, who and where you need to remove yourself from. It's an action signal for positive change. Anger is okay, aggression is not. Don't let anger sit long enough to become aggression. Aggression is like holding on to the hot coal and hoping the other person gets burned from it. Throw it away, get the learnings from it. Number 3, be confused. It's where you begin to learn the new things. It's the route to clarity and a better focus. Remember not to try and convince our head of something that we know and our heart knows is not true or is a lie. Go with the emotion and not the intellect. Remember, lead with your heart. Find what sets your soul on fire. 4, be frustrated. It's where deliberate action takes place, where our focus becomes on the outcomes and not the obstacle, the why instead of the how. Get excited about creating that magic. Remember your why. Number 5, be broken. It's where we heal stronger. Restoration and refurbishment always looks and feels a lot nicer. Number 6, be lost. Because life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. What you find already existed. What you can create can be an absolute masterpiece. The only limitation is yourself. Number 7, be alone. There isn't anything more satisfying than living your life only to realize that you're with your best friend the whole time to depend on nobody. That's a true sign of strength. Number 8, be behind. Appreciate all the life miles you've covered, the setbacks, the challenges, the pain, the trauma. Those are what makes you you. This is what makes me me. Fall in love with that life that you are creating. Don't fall into line or love with the walk of others and the dance of the world and what society is painting. Be you, be unique. Number 9, be afraid. This is the part that shows us that it's all worth it. Bravery and courage comes from doing the things that are unknown and not guaranteed. All of the magic of that lies within outside the comfort. So step in. Rather than ignore your emotions or suppress them, it's about embracing them and using them to inspire growth. Turn all our emotions around, guide them, dance with them, and create magic with them. Number 10 was be you. I'm learning to be okay with whatever happens to me, however it happens to me, and wherever I am in the world, but no more hiding from the truth. There are no burdens in my life or your life, only blessings and lessons. Only people who are burdens are those that mock a pain that they have never experienced like you or I have. And I will continue to use all of these learnings, experiences, frustrations, anger, sadness, joys that I've experienced to share with beautiful people to recognise that when they tap into the strength of who they truly are at their core, they too can live a life, a healthy, happy, fulfilling life and contribute in a big, big way. From one believer in recovery to another listening right now, wherever you are in the world, please, from me, know that you are loved, you are worthwhile, and you are unique. And at the very least, I love that. Go change your world.